Thank you, Maharaj. Now we'll have His Holiness Spirit Krishna Maharaj's words.
Hare Krishna, all glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to His Divine Grace Srila Ramapad Maharaj on this most glorious day of His appearance. And so on this day, I'd like to say a few things about my appreciation for my dear godbrother Ramapad Maharaj, and not only appreciation, but realization, and he's been a source of enthusiasm for me for many, many years. And I so deeply value his friendship and encouragement and his example in service to Srila Prabhupada. I can say that he is one of the most dedicated servants to Srila Prabhupada's society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and his willingness to sacrifice all of his own personal interests for the sake of Srila Prabhupada's society is amazing. And this really shows his Guru Nishta, Guru Bhakti, and of course that is the secret to attaining Krishna consciousness. And one of the things that's inspired me in particular, more than anything else, is his, let us say, his willingness to support what I've been teaching, which is empathic communication. Of course, it also indicates his extreme compassion towards others. And he's one of the very few devotees in our leadership in ISKCON who have actually understood the need for a whole system of developing Vaishnava love, as Rupa Goswami says in the Upadeshamrita. Tadati pratigranati guyamakyati prachti bhunkte bhujate chaiva. He states, pretty lakshanam, that the symptoms of love between devotees, and Prabhupada also comments on this too, and of course he gives some examples like giving prasadam, accepting prasadam, giving gifts, accepting gifts. But in this particular regard, I want to refer to hearing from others and revealing the mind in confidence, which is very much connected to empathic communication. So, Priti Lakshanam, these are symptoms of love. And Prabhupada comments that our movement expands by loving exchanges. Not only does our movement expand by loving exchanges, but our devotees stay within our movement because of loving exchanges. Not only that, but devotees remain enthusiastic and bring others, and others are attracted to our movement because of loving exchanges. I mean, I don't think we can, or we should, minimize the importance of loving exchanges. And my dear godbrother Ramapad Maharaj has understood this, and he has really encouraged me in helping propagate empathic communication. And I mean, I've never really expressed this to him so much, but on this day it's actually a good idea to express this. It really encourages, and not only encourages, enthuses, inspires me to go on with this, because we need the appreciation of our dear most friends. And I mean, honestly, I have so much love for Ramapad Maharaj and appreciation for him. I could just consider him my dear most friend, even though we're not physically in the same location, but we're connected always because of the dedication to Srila Prabhupada, and also the dedication to loving relationships between the devotees. And to me, this is of primary significance, first priority, and something that Srila Prabhupada would very much appreciate. So on this day, I'm encouraging all of his followers, disciples, well-wishers to appreciate his great bhakti and devotion And I just hanker for more of his association, even physical association or whatever type of association. And I'm very much appreciative of the association of his followers, disciples, and well-wishers. They're very inspiring to me. I mean, I just love you all. What can I say? And thank you for letting me say a few words. I'm here in Fiji right now trying to carry out Srila Prabhupada's mission. And I wish I was there physically or online with you. So thank you again. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and His Divine Grace, Srila Romapad Maharaj, on this most auspicious day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Next, we'll have a offering by His Grace Vatsal Prabhu, who's another dear god brother of Maharaj. And when we asked him for a bio, he simply said, "I'm Maharaj's friend and servant." So that speaks loads of their relationship and his character and his love for Maharaj and his humility. He's been serving Srila Prabhupada in the movement actively for very many years, and most recently he's been serving from the Houston, Texas community. And we're very grateful to be able to hear from him today, and his offering will be read by His Grace Yamuna Jivan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. This is from Vatsal Prabhu. Dear Maharaj and disciples of Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I would just like to take this opportunity to thank Maharaj for always appreciating whatever minuscule service I was attempting to do. As far as I can tell, Maharaj has always been engaged in service to Srila Prabhupada by spreading Krishna consciousness wherever he goes. I look forward to having his association in the not-so-distant future and pray for his causeless mercy. Your servant, Vatsal Das.
Next, we have Paramananda Prabhu, whose offering is on page 196, followed by Rishta.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते रोमपादस्वामी इति नामिने। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातम् अहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। My dear and most respected Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances at the dust of your most merciful lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace and Srila Prabhupada. With all the gratitude that my stone-like heart can muster for your acceptance of me and my wife as your disciples, and for everything that I learned from you, and for all the mercy and inspiration from you, I write this Vyasa Puja offering today. Thank you for taking us under your shelter and ultimately under the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna's shelter, Vyadi Parampara. I would like to specifically thank you very much for having faith in and engaging us in the college preaching service. This COVID year, when the world has been reeling from severe loss of human life, 4.6 million persons dead and counting, and the associated suffering, I reflect on how someone like me, as your menial servant, should align as much as possible with Srila Prabhupada and your mission of spreading Krishna consciousness to as many persons as possible in this horrible world. This is the only way to minimize suffering in this place of no real happiness. Even though I am totally and utterly incapable of helping even an iota in this ultimate mission, I still strive hard by your encouragement and inspiration, trying to follow in your footsteps like a small infant trying to run fast behind and catch up with his strong and powerful father. By your blessings, your direct leadership and guidance, our meager preaching efforts are bringing in handful of new persons into ISKCON here in Singapore. Yet, there are so many out there whom we have not been able to properly impress upon the seriousness of taking up bhakti. This is all because of the lack of qualification and maturity on my part, Guru Maharaj. I will strive to improve, but it is only possible by your mercy that I will be able to bridge this gap. I sincerely seek your blessings that Atita Gamana Dasi, my wife, and I can serve to bring many persons to your lotus feet via this college outreach service. I have been very fortunate to observe how continuously and in a costless manner you have gone about the preaching services. This Ahaituki Apratihata standard that is given in 126 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that you exactly follow, Maharaj, is very inspiring to me. We see you land in Singapore after a long flight, and almost immediately, not minding severe jet lag even, you are off to serve the devotees and the common people. You give lectures at the local ISKCON center here in the morning and evening, and in between you come with us to universities and home programs. You even plan such that you are present to lead the Ratha Yatra annually with Devakinanda Prabhu in Singapore. In addition, you also take time to meet with your disciples and other persons one-on-one to provide spiritual guidance. In just 4 to 5 days in Singapore, you are able to achieve so many preaching objectives and spread Lord Chaitanya's mercy liberally and widely. Just like you wrote about Srila Prabhupada, you are also the embodiment of living by the words, Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu. Let everyone be happy. Finally, I will finish with the best news for Aishwarya and I this year, which is the arrival of our first child after 9 years of marriage. Over these years, you have so graciously helped us, counseling us through disappointments, and even putting us in touch with Ayurvedic doctors to help conceive. Now you have mercifully accepted our daughter under your spiritual wings and given her the wonderful name Malini. We sincerely pray that she will grow up to take your guidance and serve Srila Prabhupada in every way possible. Praying to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna that they keep us in your service always. Your undeserving servants, Atita Gamana Devidasi and Paramananda Das.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have Rishta Devidasi, followed by Madhumangal Prabhu. Rishta's offering is not in the book.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. I just wrote this offering down now, so I'm sorry I wasn't able to be in the book. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Romba Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. First of all, I'd like to thank the entire team behind organizing this. It's definitely not easy to put this together virtually, so thank you all very, very much. I've personally seen that it takes a lot, and I could just imagine like how much is going on that I'm not seeing. So thank you all so much. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, happy Krishna Conscious birthday. Guru Maharaj, thank you very, very much for being such a big part of my life. At this point, Guru Maharaj, after 12 years of hearing from you, I really can't imagine a life without you. Guru Maharaj, every word you speak is being engraved in my heart. And even though I've read Srimad Bhagavatam multiple times, it's always new when I hear from you. Guru Maharaj, I'm basically incapable of doing any service whatsoever. And sometimes I have like a strong desire to do some service, but I have no idea how to serve. So Guru Maharaj, I beg you to please just throw at me some service. Due to your respect for your disciples, you generally ask for permission before giving me a service, but please, I beg you to just engage me in service somehow or other so I don't lose gratitude for what I've received. Guru Maharaj, over the years, I've developed a really strong attachment to you, and I pray that this attachment never ever leaves. Guru Maharaj, the closer I come to Krishna, the more I get attracted to you. And the more I come closer to you, I get attracted to Krishna. And I never want to lose that, because I'm sure that at this point of bhakti that I'm in, if I lose a connection with you, I'll definitely lose the connection with Krishna. Guru Maharaj, I've had the greatest fortune to spend enormous amounts of time with you since I was 5 years old. So much time. And there are for sure so many times where I didn't even value those moments. And days like this, I scold myself that, hey, why didn't you use those moments you spent with Guru Maharaj to their full potential? And Guru Maharaj, for me, you are the most foremost representative of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when I'm in your presence, I feel as if my life is fulfilled. Like, I don't need anything else. And ultimately, Guru Maharaj, I just want you to be proud of me. And that's it. Guru Maharaj, please never let me out of your prayers, because I really, really need them. I'm not a strong person, and I'm scared that I may lose the little gratitude I have for the process of Krishna consciousness. We learned in the ISKCON disciple course that a living guru is very, very important, and I'm realizing why, because you're my connection to Krishna, Guru Maharaj. I could see the difference when I'm in your presence and when I'm hearing your lectures, and when I'm not, there's a huge disconnect, and I really don't want that disconnect to be there. And I pray that at least at the level of bhakti that I'm in right now, I could always have your association so I don't lose connections. And you've done a lot for me, Guru Maharaj, and as you mentioned in the morning lecture, I will not bite the hand that fed me. I mean, I really don't think that I could continue Krishna consciousness just based on my hard work or my willpower, but definitely I could say proudly that I will continue the path of Krishna consciousness forever, just because you've done so much. And again, I will not bite the hand that fed me. And thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for being someone of such respectability that I could just look at your holiness and think, I need to keep going for him. Thank you once again, Guru Maharaj. Happy Vyasa Puja. Your servant, Harshita Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna.
Sundari Radha is reconnecting. She's having a little technical difficulty.
Did she already call on someone else to be the next in line?
Yes, Maharaj. Next is Madhumangal Prabhu.
So just unmute him.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Who's? Oh, okay.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
I have your offering here, Madhumangal, so I can follow along with you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. My dear and respected Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances unto the dust of your divine lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavatam is described as the literature full of transcendental words aimed at bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of misdirected people. Tadvag visargo janatha dhaviplavo yasmin pratishlokam abhadhyavatyati namananantasya yashonkitani yad shrinvanti gayanti ghananti sadhavaha. Translation. On the other hand, that literature, which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord, is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:5-11. To me, your divine grace fulfills the same purpose. Rooted in your own impeccable faith in the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam, you have been introducing many misdirected and impious people like me to the path of pure devotion. Times may change, but your unwavering, strong determination to preserve and propagate the principles of bhakti based on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings through your own fine example has withstood all kinds of calamities, pandemics, and crises. You study Srimad Bhagavatam, you teach Srimad Bhagavatam, you follow Srimad Bhagavatam, and you adore Srimad Bhagavatam. In the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam 6.10.8, Srila Prabhupada writes, one should join the Krishna consciousness movement following the examples of such great personalities as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the six Goswamis, and before them, the great sage Dadichi. Instead of wasting one's life for temporary bodily comforts, one should always be prepared to give up one's life for better causes. After all, the body will be destroyed. Therefore, one should sacrifice it for the glory of distributing religious principles throughout the world. End quote. When Ashwini Kumaras approached Sage Dadichi for transcendental knowledge, Indra threatens him that he would cut off Dadichi's head if he teaches them. Even then, Dadichi does not hesitate to give the transcendental knowledge to the Ashwini Kumaras. Later on, the same Indra approaches Dadichi for his body so that he can make a weapon out of his bones. Without a hesitation, Dadichi agrees. In this world, it is not easy to give transcendental knowledge. It requires a great deal of personal sacrifices as well as dealing with varieties of hardships. I'm appreciative of your selfless attitude and tireless and infinite efforts aimed to bring the revolution in a person like me who is stooped in ignorance, indolence, and impiousness. Despite the downtrodden nature of my heart, through your relentless efforts, words, thoughts, and prayers, you have been guiding me to the path of devotion. In Srimad Bhagavatam 7.8.6, Prahlad Maharaj prays, O my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant, and you are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than the master and servant. You are naturally my master, and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. I pray that I develop even a drop-sized mode of service with a grateful heart for the unlimited blessings you have been bestowing upon Premarasa, Haricharan, and me, so that hopefully one day we can render some meaningful service at your lotus feet, even for a moment. Thank you very much, your aspiring servants, Madhamangal Das, Premarasa Devidasi, and Haricharan.
Following Madhavangal Prabhu is Krishna Archana Mataji.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Ramapada Swami Iti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Paschachadesh Tarine. Dear Srila Ramapada Swami, Srila Prabhupada writes, Narayan Hari, the personality of Godhead, is beyond the material creation. His form and attributes are not material. The topmost transcendentalists or the liberated souls realize him by advanced experience of transcendental knowledge, and therefore they take pleasure in the discussion of the transcendental qualities of the Lord's pastimes. That's from a purport from Srimad Bhagavatam 2:17. Sharam Swami, you explain that, and this is quoting, it is the characteristic of one who is in the steady stage of pure devotion that they are not swayed by any material influence or circumstance. This was exemplified by Srila Prabhupada's life, close quote. And this was evidenced by his constant speaking on Krishna consciousness. In considering the well-researched classes that one can hear that you give morning and evening, moving from one city to another, it is interesting hearing your analysis of piecing information together. This is quoting, there is not so much information on the chronology of Krishna's pastimes, but piecing something from here and something from there. So initially, it is like information gathering, I'm commenting, but that it is not an indication of absorption in Krishna consciousness. It can lead to absorption in Krishna consciousness. I can tell you my thoughts in the morning hours before I get busy doing everything. My absorption is in Krishna's pastimes. This pastime, that is Krishna consciousness. Just thinking of Krishna, his form at different stages. That is the essence of Krishna, not just man-mana. It is not just information. It should stay in relationship with Krishna so that the attitude is pleasing towards Krishna. That is the measure of evaluating our absorption in Krishna consciousness. This is from a lecture in August 2021. In reading Srila Prabhupada's words on Bhagavad Gita 9:34, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakta Madhyaj Namaskuru, thinking of Krishna in devotional love and cultivating knowledge of Krishna continuously in this life of one who has completely dedicated his life in Krishna's service. Srila Jagannananda Pandit from Prema Vivata refers to meditation, and this is quoting Srila Jagannananda Pandit, on the pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna in the shadowy bowers of Vrindavan day and night as the only duty of a renunciant. The echo of the teachings of Srila Prabhupada of the most confidential knowledge being practiced by you, Srila Ramapada Swami, is evidence of the dedication of your life. Srila Jagannananda Pandit Prema Vivata writes, quote, the wise devotee spends his days remembering and meditating on Lord Krishna's pastimes, close quote. One day, September 22, 2020, there is that pleasure in the discussion of the Lord's transcendental qualities, and this is yours speaking. First the cowherd boys, then the calves follow the cowherd boys. This may be a big serpent trying to harm us, but you know Krishna will take care of us. And raising their arms and singing off they went inside the mouth of the giant serpent, and the calves, raising their tails, were happy following the cowherd boys, and off they went into the mouth of the serpent. And Krishna is watching all this, and the verse reads, 10, 12, 27, Krishna, giver of fearlessness to all beings, saw that all the cowherd boys who did not know anyone but him as their shelter had now escaped and were helpless. They were now suffering like straws to be burnt by the fire of the abdomen of Aghasura, who was death personified. Bewildered by affection, he was astonished by what had been arranged by his appointed Shakti. His Shakti is Lila Maya, Yoga Maya. After reading Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary, you say, astonishment, as we've been discussing, is a secondary rasa. The secondary rasa nourishes the primary rasa. In this case, the primary rasa is Sakya friendship between the cowherd boys. Astonishment nourishes that rasa. Close quote. I'm deeply appreciative of the philanthropic work of traveling on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such that I can hear your thinking in devotion to Lord Krishna and your continuous cultivation of knowledge of Lord Krishna. Your servant, Krishnachana Devadasi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have Sundarananda Prabhu, whose offering is on page 111, followed by Srirathi Kamathaji.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimati Rompa Swami Dramani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Holiness Rompa Swami Maharaj. One second, sorry. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Holiness Rompa Swami Maharaj, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet. My dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and your divine grace. I'm indebted to you for the shelter you have provided me, as well as for the arrangement of my mentors, Prem Tarangini Mataji and Sachkumar Prabhu in my life. Despite my dull nature, your holiness and my mentors have cared for me and our family while constantly inspiring me to continue in devotional service. By your mercy and that of my mentor Prematarini Mataji, I am somehow getting inspired to read Srila Prabhupada's books, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam. I am grateful to my friends Vamsidhari Prabhu and Rohinandan Prabhu for their association in reading Srimad Bhagavatam regularly over a long period of time. Thank you, Guru Maharaja, for the teachings and realizations you share via your classes and also by answering questions that benefit me regularly. I really appreciate your eloquent speech in sharing clearly and concisely the message of the disciple succession and practical application of the same. This past year, I got opportunities to read with many local devotees in groups and share what I learned from you and my mentors. Many are appreciating the wonderful understandings I have received over years from you and my mentors. I am starting to appreciate the power of bhakti and Srimad Bhagavatam in purifying people. I am also starting to appreciate the value and need of reading Srila Prabhupada's books for the effective continuation of ISKCON for several generations in the future and for our own progress in spiritual life. Thank you, Guru Maharaja, for your innumerable contributions to ISKCON as an institution, as well as to so many devotees individually in different parts of the world. I appreciate your personal example of valuing time and not wasting even a moment. Your mood of service in every situation is amazing and instructive to me. On this auspicious Vyasa Puja day, I pray for your continued association and also your blessings so I can continue in bhakti while humbly serving towards Srila Prabhupada's mission to please you. Your aspiring servant, Sundaranandas. Thank you, Maharaj.
Pretty interesting background you got going on over there. You're off on a beach with the wind blowing and palm trees breezing and waves crashing. Very interesting background.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj.
I'm in Chicago. Different where you are.
This is just a virtual background, Maharaj.
I know.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have Srirathi Kamathaji, whose offering is on page 7 in the addendum of the Vyasa Puja book, followed by Yashodanandan Prabhu.
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your divine grace. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
It's a 3-page offering. Gosh.
I'm going to shorten it, Maharaj.
Okay.
I didn't think you'd be okay with me reading a 3-page offering.
Shorter is good.
21 years ago, I moved to America to realize the American dream. I remember being an overachiever, starry-eyed teenager, just having graduated at the top of my class from a well-known private school in India, heading to a prestigious university in the United States on a full scholarship. And my tagline was, I'm going to the land of the free and the home of the brave to be the CEO of Microsoft. Yeah, that's how big I dreamt. What unfathomable fortune to have been discovered by you in August of 2003 in a dark, dingy corner of Washington University in St. Louis. I was a completely confused soul, hurting and hollow on the inside, hustling for self-worth through achievement and productivity, carrying a 20-ton shield of perfectionism to avoid shame, trying hard to conform and fit in the American way of life, running away from my roots as fast as I could. Little did I know that my casual drop-in one fateful evening to a program by a sadhu on my college campus, which in my estimation was my check mark on my good karma list, would turn my life upside down, or shall I say the right side up. In the last 19 years, you have poured love into my soul through deep commitment, time, and energy. With you, I never have to hustle for worthiness or belonging. I belong with you, not despite, but because of my imperfections. You have provided me a sacred, safe space to grow. You have stayed with me through thick and thin, and you, Guru Maharaj, are truly the reason I'm continuing on the bhakti path today. 21 years after having immigrated, I've not exactly become the CEO of Microsoft, but I consider myself richer than him because I have your shelter. I didn't know at the time that Krishna was pulling me to America to be discovered by you. If you chose what is fun, fast, or easy over an intense labor of love for your spiritual master, today, 21 years after I immigrated, I would probably be materially successful, but totally internally miserable. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for giving meaning and purpose to my life and a safe circle of friendships with like-minded souls. This year, I hit my 40-year midlife mark. I feel like the universe is grabbing me by my shoulders and reminding me, I'm not kidding you, you're halfway to dead. My midlife crisis has been a testing of my faith in ISKCON. This past year, when my deeply held convictions called upon me to stand in my integrity, brave the wilderness, and forge my own authentic path within ISKCON, I only found acceptance being extended to me by you. And for that, I am grateful. When taking a neutral stance was a safe, comfortable, and politically correct alternative, Holocaust survivor and Nobel laureate Elie Wiesel's words were the lighthouse amidst the stormy, dark sea. Quote, we must always take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. I choose to neither be blindly idealistic, ignoring the problems within the institution, nor jadedly cynical. I've come to a compelling recognition of the need to correct the fabric of my own spiritual life so that I'm contributing to the solutions and not the problems within ISKCON. The arena I'm choosing is this, to contribute towards creating a more empathic ISKCON. And in this regard, I'm immensely grateful for your encouragement of my relationship with my dear Beer Krishna Maharaj. The funny thing is this, I don't know if I can find another person who's so completely opposite of your personality than he. It sure takes a village to raise a child, and I really value being lovingly cared for by your god brother and you in this co-op. The arena of Krishna consciousness sometimes gets tiring because on a daily basis, my behavior and speech falls short of my deeply held values. Therefore, my request to you, Guru Maharaj, is to please bless me to perform a relentless, daring, devotional striving. My life rests upon your gifts, and I take immense pride in being your beloved spiritual daughter, Srirathi Kamathaji.
Hare Krishna. Beautiful.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have an offering by Yashodanandan Das. His offering is on page 110, followed by Nithyananda Pran Prabhu and Himangi Mataji.
Dearest Guru Maharaj, accept our most humble obeisances. All glories unto your divine grace. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This most auspicious day of your appearance, we get to celebrate the many ways in which you've touched countless lives around the world. We feel so fortunate and humbled to be counted amongst those special souls who have somehow earned a place in your heart. We are still not sure what we may have done to deserve such grace, but we definitely are not complaining. Instead, we pray from the bottom of our hearts today to never, ever desire to leave this loving shelter. We also pray for the strength to be able to become more mature and able to actually reciprocate with the loads of love we are receiving. Reflecting on our spiritual journey, we realized how you arranged for us to have so many unique experiences, to receive special association of devotees from so many different backgrounds and specialties. Through the retreats and yatras, we've made so many spiritual memories that make the experience of Krishna consciousness real and fun. We were able to pull strength from these memories during these past 2 very uniquely challenging years. Watching your steadfast example of commitment to Srila Prabhupada, your focused chanting of the holy name, and your careful assimilation of Srimad Bhagavatam, no matter what chaos was surrounding you, has also been an inspiration. As false shelters fall away, we pray that no matter what happens, we may be able to hold on to these real shelters, as well as the association of dear devotees. Thank you for always being there for us, Maharaj. Your aspiring servants, Yashodanandan Das and Shamsaki Devidasi.
And your little darling children.
They always have their commentary. The door's locked.
I don't know where you put them, but they're there somewhere.
Yes, Maharaj.
For a moment, at least.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have Nithyananda, His Grace Nithyananda Pran Prabhu and Her Grace Himangi Mataji. Their offering is on page 43, followed by Lavanya Kari Mataji.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Romapada Swamin Iti Namine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangu Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Our dear Guru Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances at your most merciful lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace and Srila Prabhupada. Shri Vedanta Deshika, a 13th century Sri Vaishnava Acharya, spontaneously composed 1008 verses on the shoes of Lord Ranganath, titled Paduka Sahasram. In abject humility, since he did not feel qualified to speak directly about the Lord's lotus feet. Following in his footsteps, we have been meditating on your divine grace's shoes and glorifying them as our inspiration for steady service. Just as we revere and worship any item used in the service of Guru and Krishna as tadiya, certainly the shoes of the spiritual master are as worshipable as any other of his paraphernalia. This is authorized by the great acharyas, beginning with Lord Shiva, who says, Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadiyanam Samarchanam, a reference in Padma Purana. Just as an iron rod in contact with fire carries the qualities of fire, these shoes, having been in contact with your divine grace's spiritual personality, have become spiritualized.
They can be addressed as sentient beings. Today, we offer our appreciation and gratitude to these shoes that serve you steadfastly and selflessly. We take our minds to a few of their qualities. First, Dasanudasa. Every morning, we place a flower on your Divine Grace's shoes on our altar with invocation of Esha Pushpanjali. These shoes hold the flower for the worship of your Divine Grace's lotus feet without thinking falsely that the flower is for them. We pray to these servants of the servant to awaken in us a similar disposition that any honor or accolades coming our way, in reality, are meant for Guru and Gauranga. Number 2, Sato Vrite. Everybody needs role model devotees for inspiration in bhakti. We think these shoes of your Divine Grace are inspired by Sri Hanuman and Sri Garuda by always being by the door, ever ready to carry you in your seva to your master Srila Prabhupada. 3, Utsaha. We find you always enthusiastic in your service to Srila Prabhupada. One among the various observable symptoms of this enthusiasm is your speediness in going from one place to another, be it to your room right after a class or maneuvering through the airport aisles. Likewise, your shoes are enthusiastic to facilitate such speediness while they carry our Guru Maharaj through a maze of crowds or the variety of surfaces that you need to negotiate. 4, Balavan. A sober devotee can withstand the onslaught of many challenges. Your shoes similarly carry you as you bear your burden of love, your luggage. As a sannyasi, you literally live out of a suitcase. You carry a very heavy briefcase, a backpack, and a shoulder bag containing sacred tulsi beads. These shoes are not only safely carrying our spiritual master, but also everything he's carrying all by himself at the airport. Oh, sober pair of Birkenstocks, our spiritual master depends on you. We depend on you. Hi, Abhaya. You are the trusted servants of our Parivrajaka spiritual master in all types of conditions, be it in the Chicago snow, the jagged terrain in India, in an uncharted place of adventure like China, in the humidity of Houston, or at the inclines of the Northeast. He is fearless in his service to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Radha Govinda, and so are you in assisting him. 6, Ashraya. Your Divine Grace is the vessel of pure bhakti. Your shoes, in turn, are the vessels that carry unimaginable and unfathomable particles of mercy. While you do not allow anyone to touch your feet, the very storehouse of these many particles of mercy that can deliver a living entity across the Viraja river, yet Sri Prahlad Maharaj orders everyone to bathe themselves in these dust particles. Mahi Yasham Pada Rajobhishekam. Therefore, we have no other recourse but to touch our heads to these shoes who freely distribute the dust of Shuddha Bhakti to anyone and everyone, freely without reservation. O merciful vessels of grace, you facilitate our bhakti to be free of obstacles. Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. 7, Dhvaja. Just as a flag marks a building in a specific or unique way, your shoes bring our attention immediately to the special and unique personality that graces us with his presence. As we walk into any home for a program, the darshan of your shoes first at the doorway reminds us to become present and aware that a pure devotee is in our midst. Such souls are rare on this earth, and associating with them is even more rare. Tulayama lavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam. Even now, as you're all gathered here to celebrate Vyasa Puja and enjoying the company of our dear God siblings, Guru Maharaj's shoes are outside the temple room ready for orders on their next service assignment. May our bhakti make us genuine in expression, simple in execution, humble in heart, pleasing to you and Kishore Kishori, and helpful to others. Our aspiration is alive on the hope that your divine grace may extend your kind mercy upon us. Your servants, Nithyananda Prandas, Hemangi Devidasi, and Prahlad Narasimha.
Very poetic. Congratulations. You get the Poetry Award.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. It's your mercy upon us.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have Lavanya Kari Mataji's offering on page 207, followed by Paramarupa Prabhu, who has a printed copy. We actually can't hear you, Mataji, so I think if you maybe remove the headphones, we might be able to hear you, okay? Yeah, there you go.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Romapada Swami Niti Namine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Holiness Srila Romapada Swami Maharaj, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Dear most beloved and supremely merciful spiritual master, please accept my humble obeisances at your divine lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace, who is an emblem of success in servitude to your spiritual master, His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. With all the prayers at your divine lotus feet, I humbly seek your permission for glorification of your divine grace that pleases the Supreme Lord. Your divine grace is a walking Bhagavata who lives what you teach. Your divine grace is always very joyful in Krishna consciousness. Beginning the early days in Krishna consciousness, your divine grace has been performing service to Srila Prabhupada very delightfully. Your divine grace qualities are all auspicious. One who meets your divine grace can very clearly understand how honest and truthful your divine grace is. Your divine grace glorifies the Supreme Lord and His devotees all the time. Krishna consciousness and Krishna is very far for us, and your divine grace dispels our ignorance due to association with matter by transmitting knowledge into our hearts about the Supreme Lord in an easily digestible form. Today is a day that we celebrate your divine appearance, which brought so many souls to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. According to scriptures, the Lord is very pleased when someone comes back to Him. I am one such soul, product of your divine grace mercy. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, verses 13 to 14, one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotion service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Your divine grace exemplifies many qualities that are very dear to the Supreme Lord, Guru Maharaja. Dear Guru Maharaja, Lord Krishna says that approach a bona fide spiritual master, inquire from him submissively and render service unto him, and he will impart knowledge unto you. In Bhagavad Gita 4.34, the spiritual master is to be respected as good as the Supreme Lord. One should never get familiar and think that the spiritual master is an ordinary person. Even great sages cannot understand the activities of the pure devotees. Your divine association has been protecting us from becoming familiar with our mentors, with maintaining respectful attitude. 2. Offenses with attentive chanting of the holy name. 3. Sense control with mind control and becoming regulated in senses. 4. Bad association with the association of devotees always. 5. Pride, envy, lust, anger, greed, and illusion with the holy names that purifies the heart of these impurities. On this very special Vyasa Puja of your Divine Grace, I want to offer my prayer at your Divine Grace lotus feet that I may act from this day forward to cultivate my spiritual journey further serving the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj, for your Divine Grace mercy. Your aspiring servant, Lavanya.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have Paramarupa Prabhu reading his offering, and Maharaj, you have a printed copy of his offering, followed by Bhumi Mataji.
Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Srirathi Swami Nithyananda. Dear Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna, please accept my most humble obeisances in the dust of your divine lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. There is a well-known saying that a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. In spiritual life, every tiny bit of gratitude in the heart is reciprocated with countless opportunities for growth and coming closer to Guru and Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.29.6, Uddhava prays to Lord Krishna as follows: O my Lord, a devotee cannot fully repay the debt to you even by rendering devotional service for the total duration of 1000 universal creations. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. Guru Maharaj, when I reflect on what I was 20 years ago when I met your divine grace, and now I fall short of counting the miracles in my life. I had always been very shy by nature, running away from any form of public appearances. Many years ago, when you asked me to start a Bhakti Yoga club in a university campus, that was a practically impossible task for me. But your instruction carried the necessary empowerment to make that happen. And when I look back, I really cannot fathom how that happened. In Remuna, during the Jagannath Puri Yatra, you directed me to lead a kirtan in the divine courtyard where Lord Chaitanya chanted and danced with his eternal associates. That was my first opportunity to publicly sing for the pleasure of the Lord. For the first time, I discovered I can even lead a kirtan. Very shortly thereafter, I also realized I can play some musical instruments as well. In this way, bit by bit, your mercy was unfolding one opportunity after another to engage my life in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, as Narottam Das Thakur prays, Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai, tomara karuna shara. If I examine myself, I find nothing of value. I am simply a product of your mercy. Even before we learn how to seek guidance in our life, you brought His Grace Nithyananda Pran Prabhu and Her Grace Himangi Mataji into our life. You have taught us how to incrementally invest in loving relationships. Because of your empowering these relationships, we have a blessed channel where our hearts are open to receive their guidance and advice at any important juncture of our life. We would remain eternally grateful to them for all the sacrifices they make for sustaining our Krishna consciousness. In recent years, your direction and mercy have moved mountains of obstacles that were coming in the way of our outreach efforts. There were situations where we thought there would be no solution. By your divine intervention, new pathways emerged in incredible ways. The stalled relationships began to move and the situations began to automatically change. Although the preponderance of COVID-19 had toppled the lives of so many in indescribable ways, for us, it created opportunities of your prolonged association in Boston. We are grateful to you for making us an object of your divine mercy. When Srila Prabhupada was once asked how a disciple can be free of the debt to the spiritual master, he replied, "Not possible." With that note, I simply acknowledge that I remain indebted forever for your divine kindness, mercy, and empowerment in my life. Your servant, Paramurpadas.
Hare Krishna. Next we have Bhumi Mataji, whose offering is not in the book, followed by Girivaradari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances to your divine lotus feet and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I am grateful to you for being a connecting link to the unlimited, unfelt, invisible, unheard ocean of mercy of Guru Parampara. It is not because of my desire, but it is because of your unconditional desire to serve the Parampara that I am here today under your care. The flow of mercy is very strong, but the question is that am I capable to be part of the supply chain and let the mercy flow to the next generation? Am I capable to feel the mercy and live with that? Am I obstructing that mercy with my internal blocks? Since I have met you, I have always seen you taking care of us in all aspects. You are constantly educating us through seminars, retreats, and workshops, covering all aspects of life, along with the scriptural education. But again, the slackness is the slackness is from my side only. As Srila Prabhupada came to the West from Vrindavan and gave us a procedure how to make each country, city, town, and home Vrindavan, you have followed his footsteps very firmly. Without all these people like us would not have even a glimpse of what it is to live according to the scriptures. This year's Vyasa Puja retreat, especially your lectures and gratitude exercises, have left a strong impression on my heart, and I will keep trying to write gratitude journal throughout the year. Having a strong faith in your instructions, I am sure this single goal is going to transform my life. I wish there was a barometer to gauge the progress. So my goals for the coming year would be maintain a gratitude journal, and second one is to cultivate more honesty in my expression. Honesty gives me lot of strength. Seeking your blessings to accomplish these two goals. Yours in service, Bhumi.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have Girivaradari Prabhu's offering on page 181, followed by Amara Mataji.
We're going until noon, is that right?
Yes, Maharaj.
1:30 or
1:30. Yeah.
What? We're going to be reading these things until when? 20 minutes?
Kamathaji, can you confirm? Because I'm in EST time.
Oh, that's
1:30, I think. Yeah.
Sorry, yes, 1:30.
That's a little much. I mean, I don't know how others are feeling about all of this, but let's reduce the time somehow.
Yes, Maharaj.
Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Brahmapada Swami Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Our Guru Maharaj, an ocean of mercy, Karunamurti and Daya Parethi. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Please accept your humble servant's offering on this auspicious day. Our Guru Maharaj is already glorified. He does not need glorification, certainly not our glorification. To make our life auspicious, we glorify him. All ingredients used for this preparation of this offering are pure, as they are provided by merciful devotees around the world. I am just an instrument to assemble these ingredients, present to Guru Maharaj. Please bless this offering as a tulsi leaf, then he will accept it. Helping us to stand on our vows, we have promised Maharaj during our initiation to read Srila Prabhupada books and follow his teachings. He is very kind and merciful to help us in fulfilling our promise. He reads Prabhupada books for us, whether we hear or not, or understand or not. He reads them every morning. If we miss in the morning, we can get a chance to hear in the evening. If we miss both the times, he provides access to his sound energy, instructions, blessings of his lotus feet anytime on YouTube. No excuses. His mercy is so kind that he gives so many opportunities to hear his Vani anytime and anywhere. He is the ocean of mercy. He asked us to promise, and he is working hard to fulfill our promise. If you notice Maharaj's class, Maharaj will ask questions on our behalf and answer them on his own. He understands that we do not get the subject and we may hesitate to ask him questions. His another mercy is in academic class, after class is over, teacher asks questions to check if students learned anything. Here Maharaj is so kind that he takes questions from disciples and showers his mercy. And in the COVID and devotee association, due to pandemic, there was a lot of challenges in associating with devotees. Maharaj has opened a new way to connect with devotees using YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom. This time, he opened his heart beyond local and gave access to his entire family, including national and international devotees. Compassion. In his compassion on fallen jivas to make us hear Krishna Katha or Krishna's name one or the other way. Why he wants us to listen to Krishna Katha? Parikshit Maharaj got liberated just hearing Krishna Katha for a week. Ajamila got an opportunity of liberation just listening Lord's name unconsciously once. In Ramayana, Sampati got his wings just listening to Ramanama and got service to the Lord. I am seeking mercy from all merciful devotees to join me to beg mercy of Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya, Lord Sri Krishna, and Srimati Radharani, to bless our Acharya Deva for his health and mercy such that his Vani resounds in our ears each and every moment. Acharya Deva is a Paduka of the Lord, disciplic succession, and Srila Prabhupada. Paduka, according to Paduka Sahasranam, written by Sri Vedanta Desika, from Sri Vaishnava Acharya, Lord's Paduka is more powerful than Lord himself. Lord's Paduka holds him in him and has ruled Ayodhya with no flaws for 13 years. As a most insignificant mortal soul, on behalf of devotees, we are seeking shelter dust of our Acharya Deva's lotus feet. In Ramayana, we have seen power of dust of lotus feet of the Lord. Ahalya got liberated with touch of the dust of the lotus feet. We are humbly begging for service to your Paduka. Please bless us with potency as well to execute that service. We do not have any capability of our own to deliver your service and instructions. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Your servants, Shriya Devi Dasi, Girivaradhari Das, Shraddha and Shubha. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Vedanta Deshika is getting some special recognition today. And Lord Ram Shus.
Hare Krishna. Next we have Amara Mataji, followed by Gopal Hari Prabhu, and both of their offerings are not in the book.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I will try to keep it quick and short. Please accept my respectful obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Obviously, completely unqualified, but I am humbly wishing to present this offering as a menial service to your holiness and my god brothers and god sisters for my own purification. On this auspicious occasion of your divine appearance, Guru Maharaj, I take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude at your lotus feet that despite of all kinds of shortcomings in us, you have mercifully accepted me and my husband as your disciples in your service and gave us the opportunity to connect with the glorious parampara of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also feeling greatly indebted to our guide and mentor, Her Grace Prematarangini Mataji, to hold us with fingers while we are trying to take baby steps in our journey of Krishna consciousness. Many times we are tired on this path and not able to move or even not willing to move, but Mataji is always very gently showing us the right direction towards Krishna and always reminding us of our goal. Her presence in our life is your great mercy. I express my sincere gratitude to our God brothers and God sisters who are bestowed with glorious, unique qualities by Krishna and from whom we learn how to engage those qualities in service to Vaishnavas for pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Guru Maharaj, I deeply appreciate your tireless efforts to elevate the consciousness of many suffering souls like myself. At the cost of your own comfort, you travel extensively to give us the gift of Krishna consciousness, the pure transcendental taste of loving devotional service to Krishna. Through your such efforts, Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada are entering our lives and making it auspicious. Few years ago in Puri Yatra videos, I saw one Mataji from China was practically in tears to hear the pastime of Lord Chaitanya when he lived in Gambhira in a very small cage-like room. She was so moved to realize the Lord's sacrifice. Her reaction softened my heart as well. Many such examples of transformation at heart level are there, all because of your presentations of Krishna consciousness. It takes complete involvement, deep research, and many hours of daily study to prepare such heart-moving presentations with ample scriptural references, simple analogies, anecdotes, Srila Prabhupada's pastimes, historical references, videos, quotes, and many more powerful resources to help us get one step closer to Krishna. Whether it is my struggle of inattentive chanting, feeling lack of humility and gratitude, or struggle of acceptance of myself and others, your presentations leave no doubt in my heart that I would certainly like to reach where you desire to take us. Some punchlines from your lectures, like there is no substitute for purity, piety plus impure heart equals pride, pride goeth before the fall, gratitude is seed of love, where attention goes, energy flows, therefore be attentive while chanting. The soul can hear the sound. In the final analysis, it is between you and Krishna. Always think, how can I serve Krishna in this situation? Dushpuraina analena cha, sthane sthitah, do not pretend. Serve from where you are and try to move forward slowly. Offer Vancha Kalpataru prayers every day. Seek blessings of Vaishnava. Humility attracts Krishna's mercy. Read Prabhupada's books daily, and many more such precious loving instructions are gradually purifying our consciousness. Only as a result of your causeless compassion, I have started to realize what is the difference of hearing the name by chance as opposed to deliberately putting my mind, heart, and soul to hear. Thank you so much for kindling this fire of deliberation in my heart in all aspects of Krishna consciousness. On today's auspicious occasion, I humbly seek your and all Vaishnavas' blessings to be able to sincerely understand and apply your kind instructions, be able to appropriately respect all the devotees, and open my heart to your gift of Krishna consciousness. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him, aspiring to be in your service sincerely, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We now have Gopal Hari Prabhu to read his offering, followed by a sung offering by Radhakund Mataji and Shrikar.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you on this most wonderful Vyasa Puja occasion. It has been our good fortune to move to Naperville, and our greatest fortune in moving here is that we have been blessed with more and more of your merciful association. In the purport to Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.15, Srila Prabhupada writes, quote, "To take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord means to take shelter of the pure devotees. Anyone therefore who takes shelter of the lotus feet of the by accepting the pure devotee as a spiritual master can be at once purified. Such devotees of the Lord are honored equally with the Lord because they are engaged in the most confidential service of the Lord. For they deliver out of the material world the fallen souls whom the Lord wants to return home back to Godhead." Unquote. Maharaj, you uplift us and push us to rise beyond our comfort zone. You inspire us to give up our materialistic lives and take inspiration from the lives of great devotees like Prahlad, Narada, and Dhruva. This is because you yourself are the example of unwavering devotion to Srila Prabhupada and an epitome of spotless purity. Maharaj, you are constantly engaged in Krishna Katha, Japa, and Sankirtan. You immerse yourself in the scriptures and then pass on your jewels of bhakti to us in an easy to digest and practical manner. Your messages and classes are glorious and if practiced sincerely, take us closer to Krishna. On this auspicious day, I beg you to bless me to develop purity, enthusiasm, and determination to chant the holy name. Please bless me so that I can be of any service to your lotus feet. I beg you to please keep your merciful glance on this fallen soul. Thank you for your uplifting association of classes and for encouraging us in so many ways. As Narottam Das Thakur writes, after bathing in the waters of the sacred Ganges many times, one becomes purified, but just by the sight of you, the fallen souls are purified. This is your great power. Thank you, your servant Gopal Haridas.
Hare Krishna. I feel I'm getting some nice instructions here. Live up to all these accolades. Try to.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Next we have Radhakund Mataji's offering, which is sung by Shrikar. And is it okay if we do a few more, Maharaj, after that?
How about one more after this one?
Okay, and then it'll be followed by Jai Gopal Das.
Jaya Ramapada Swami Jaya Ramapada Swami Ramapada Swami Jaya Ramapada Swami Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva. I truly appreciate your service as it has touched me deeply. It has brought a huge change in me. Your gentle teachings filled my heart with gratitude and showed me the ray of hope. You made me a different person who has a craving towards spiritual life. Thank you for your continued commitment through our congregation. चक्षुदान दिलोए जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति यहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते वेद गया यहाँ रचरित हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Pretty unique.
Next one, we'll have Jai Gopal Prabhu read his offering. I think there's an echo. I'm sorry about that. Jai Gopal Prabhu's next.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Romapad Swami Iti Namani. Dear Srila Romapad Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for bestowing your causeless mercy upon us. Impressions run deep, and your association has impacted us so profoundly. Without that association, we would be deprived of knowing how and where to repose our loving propensity. You make that knowledge of Krishna accessible through the demonstration of Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya. In the purport to Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 2nd Chapter, Text 18, Srila Prabhupada states, a devotee Bhagavata is as good as the book Bhagavata because the devotee Bhagavata leads his life in terms of the book Bhagavata, and the book Bhagavata is full of information about the personality of Godhead and his pure devotees, who are also Bhagavatas. Bhagavata book and person are identical. The devotee Bhagavata is a direct representative of Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. So by pleasing the devotee Bhagavat, one can receive the benefit of the book Bhagavata. Human reason fails to understand how by serving the devotee Bhagavata or the book Bhagavata, one gets gradual promotion on the path of devotion. But actually, these are facts explained by Srila Naradadev, who happened to be a maidservant's son in his previous life. The maidservant was engaged in the menial service of the sages, and thus he also came into contact with them. And simply by associating with them and accepting the remnants of foodstuff left by the sages, the son of the maidservant got the chance to become the great devotee and personality Srila Naradadev. These are the miraculous effects of the association of Bhagavatas. Such is your gift to all of us who seek your spiritual shelter. Thank you. We humbly submit ourselves as your eternal servants, Jagopal Das and Damayanti Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for allowing us to share our offerings with you. The next part of the program is an arati for Maharaj, along with the Shri Gurvashtikam prayers.
Samsaradhava nalalidhaloka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam samsara. Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Gunarnavasya Mahaprabhu ki tananita gita Vadhitra madhyan Vanasodasena Romanchakampa Shutaranga Pajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Shivigrahara Dhananityanana Shingaratanman Dhiramarjanado Yuktasya bhaktam Janiyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Chaturvedashi Bhagavat Prasado Swadana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangan Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Srirathi Kamathaji para Madhurya Leela Gunarupa Namnam Pratikshana Swadhanalolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Nikunjayo no Radhikele Sedhyai Yayale Biryo Tera Pekshaniya Radhikele Sedhyai Tatrati Dhakshad Ativallabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Ativallabhasya Sakshadharitvena Samashta Sashtir Ukta Satabha Yataeva Sadbhi Kinto Prabhurya Priyaeva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado Yasya prasada nagati kutopi. Dhyayastuvam stasya yasastri sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravinda Sastri sandhyam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. I know how long to go. Hare Rama, Hare Jaya Rama Pada Swami, Rama Pada Swami, Rama Pada Swami, Jaya Rama Pada Swami. Jaya Rama Pada Swami, Rama Pada Swami, Rama Pada Swami, Jaya Rama Pada Swami. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Srimad Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nithyananda Vishnu Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Astatara Srimad His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki, Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, glories to Shri Guru Chikoranga. What's that? Huh? What are we supposed to do with this? I don't know either. For those of you in warm weather, you can know that it's snowing outside. Welcome to Chicago. Sundari, can you hear us?
Recording in progress.
Are we back? Okay. So Sundari, can you hear us?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. So I got a cake in front of me. I'm supposed to cut a piece of cake here.
Yes, Maharaj, please.
There's some children over on the side, and they probably would like a piece of cake, right? Oh, okay. I thought so. Come get it. It's a small piece. Okay. Don't drop it. Oh. Okay, set it down. Set it down. Put it on the table. No. This one. And one more for you. It's gooey. It's okay? All right. Okay, that's it.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I just wanted to finish off by announcing the schedule for the rest of the day today. We have an, give me a second.
You're checking to make sure you have the right schedule, right? We lost her. Okay, we made it.
I'm not telling you to get it.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we are done, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Should we end?
Okay, yeah. I think,
Okay. Hi.
did she tell when is the next program?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, when is it next?
Oh, the next program is at 4 o'clock ish to Goshti.
4 o'clock. Oh, Hari Bol.
And then Marge's class is at 6:30.
Okay, sure.